Welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United. Now, this video is going to be based on the latest Manchester United news regarding Antoine Griezmann being linked to Manchester United. Now, as I've stated in my last video podcast, I gave 5 reasons why this Belgian shouldn't come to Manchester United. Is me, and I'm going to refer you to the video that I did previously. Check it out. But in this video, it's going to talk about Griezmann being linked to Manchester United to sign for Manchester United allegedly in January. Now, Atletico Madrid has gained Champions League advancement to the round of 16, and Antoine Griezmann is one of their pivotal players that has led them to the round of 16. Is me. So I don't see the sense of this Belgian leaving Atletico Madrid to come to Manchester United that is heavily and obviously struggling, not only in the Premier League but in the Champions League. I think we're like last place in the Champions League group stage. Is me. So why is this Belgian go break his back to come to Manchester United, who is last place in the group stage of the Champions League? It don't make no sense. Why is he coming for? He's coming for money. That's one of the reasons. To give you a tip of one of the reasons I stated in my last video podcast, he go come for a big payday. That's all he go come for. He's not going to come to he's not going to come to endear himself, like to genuinely make a difference in this Manchester United side. So get that out of your head, man. Plus he ditched us. Another reason. I'm giving you guys 3 reasons as to why Manchester United shouldn't sign this guy. But one reason was that this guy ditched us 7 years ago. 6 years ago. Why get him? Why get him now when he's in the last chapters of his footballing career? When he ditched us in his prime. Why want to get him at this time? Why? What's the reason? Because he's available? Because it says here, based on this outlet, that Antoine Griezmann has been linked with a January transfer window move for Antoine Griezmann, and it says here that the star reportedly will not be leaving Atletico Madrid for Manchester United in January. Duh. At least I for one as a Manchester United fan don't want this bridging. Now I've said this in my last video podcast. I'm not coming from the premise that I don't like Antoine Griezmann. I like the bridging. He was France's best player from 2014 to 2017. Is my support France. I like Griezmann for France. Is me. I don't have no ill will against Griezmann. Is me. But to get this bridging at this chapter of his career, at this chapter of the season, doesn't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Plus, this is not really levying to the project, the plan that Ratcliffe has for this club. You see me, looking that he wants to quote unquote clear out some players and get some fresh blood in. You go say Antoine Griezmann is fresh blood. He's fresh blood. In name maybe, bringing him to the club a new name, but he's nah. So basically, it does make no sense getting this guy at this stage of the season. Number one, and given his age, it does make no sense. How is he going to leave Atletico Madrid to come to a club that will not gain advancement to the Champions League round of 16 just for the hell of it? It don't make no sense, man. You look at Rafael Varane, that is quote unquote not happy with the manager. Is me? Not happy with the manager. Not happy with this situation, not getting no games. You look at Casemiro, not in the best of favors with the manager. Is me? This Belgian wanted to stay in Brazil, and he was someone to come back to England and play for Manchester United, and he didn't want to come back. Is me? He wanted to score class in the form of playing games for Manchester United and stay in Brazil. So chill with his buddies. And now Antoine Griezmann coming to Manchester United. If this guy stays as manager for Manchester United to play for this manager, nah, he doesn't know how to manage those egos, man. And that's another reason I should have mentioned. But I wanted to keep that 5, isn't me? So if you all boil this down, if you were to boil this down to its core, isn't me? If you were to like boil it like a egg, a fresh egg. If you were to boil the core of that egg, The core is this when it comes down to Antoine Griezmann. Let us not get a player that did show 6 years ago. It may look petty, man. I am petty. Is me, and I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm petty. But this is beyond pettiness. This is just is me. It don't make no sense, bro. Atletico Madrid is not going to sell him, and I for one don't want him anyway. This is me. I don't want this virgin anyway. So this linkage, yes, you could get him for what 21.9 million euros. Not that hefty money, but again, bro, he's 32, not 22. If he was 22, then I would welcome him with open arms. I would be bringing this brethren open arms. I would have bring his bags to whichever condominium he's staying at. Is me for free. But he's 32, not 22. Again, he's at the back end of his career, man. We don't want this guy. A guy that ditched us 6 years ago. I'm bringing it up here still. I'm bringing it up. Yeah, I don't care. We don't want this guy. We shouldn't be linked to this guy. We have different priorities to straighten out. We need a centre back that should be replacing the deadwood in our defense. Maguire, Evans, although he's not deadwood, but we still need to replace him. And we need to add centre back to replace Varane. I want Varane to be sold, not because he's trash, but because of his incompetence to stay fit. This virgin can't stay fit for 5 seconds, man. He can't play for 5 games straight without having an injury. And that's quite a worry for me, because if you're going to play games at a high level, if you go play games for at a high level, you should be consistent with playing games. And he's not playing games consistently. Because he has a very very stinky injury record. You don't want to look on it. It will blind your eyesight. So yeah, so we have different priorities in the squad. So when it comes down to Griezmann, man, to wrap this up, Griezmann should not be linked to Manchester United for one, and for two, we shouldn't be signing this guy anyway. I'll be right back. Alright, so in the second portion of this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the players in our current squad that I believe hasn't hit the heights that we were expecting to hit when we once signed him. Anthony Martial. I know this is a random video on Anthony Martial, but I just want to give my 2 penny cents on his bridging, because with the expectation that we had of this guy in the fall of 2015, if you were to tell me after the season he had in his first season at Manchester United, if you were to tell me after that first season of his at Manchester United that in the next 7 years, no, actually 8 years, that he wouldn't be a centurion, meaning that he wouldn't score at least 100 goals for Manchester United, he wouldn't have hit the expected heights that he had for this guy at Manchester United, he wouldn't be a main starter for France, given the good games he's had for Manchester United, I would call you a liar. Because in 2015, when we signed him from Monaco, it was a hefty fee. It wasn't penny and chips we signed this guy for. We had to pull out our paycheck and go sign this guy. He was one of the, you could say, brightest prospects in world football. One of the brightest prospects in world football. He actually won the Golden Ball. He won the Golden Ball as a young guy. Paul Pogba won it in 2013. He won it in 2012. Götze won it in 2011. Sterling won it in 2014. And I believe Marcel won it in 2015. And it just shows you that this guy had the world on his shoulders. When he signed for Manchester United, persons were not really, they were saying, okay, this guy's a prodigy, but what is the possibility of this guy working out at Manchester United, given the hefty fee that they signed him for? Is this guy going to be a main starter under Louis van Gaal? Is he going to be the main crucial guy under Louis van Gaal? Is he going to pull up him socks and say, "Hey, I'm the main man in this squad. Give him the ball, let me score." Is he that type of guy under Louis van Gaal? First game, got a goal against Liverpool. He came on, is me, terrific goal. Beat Skirt. I think Skirt is trying to find his instance, because he was out of place. He was out of place. And Martial put him out of his place and go score that goal at Old Trafford. And Pers were saying, this guy is looking to be, he's looking, yeah, he's on his way to being that guy. He go score against Southampton, go leave Van Dijk on his backside. He couldn't even get up. Got a goal against Southampton away from home. And at the time, that was a good Southampton side. You see me, it had Sadio Mane, it had Pele, it had, Van Dijk, it had, we had Schneiderlin, so Schneiderlin wasn't no longer. They had Klein, I think Klein was signed, yes, Klein signed for Liverpool. They had Lallana, I think Lallana. Yeah, Lallana was still at Southampton. But Martial, man, Martial was a very good player in his first season. He netted 17 goals in a poor Manchester United side. This is me. And this guy was feeding off of scraps. Yes, we're a possession-based side under Louis van Gaal, but we're not creative like that. We're just, recycling ball possession, keeping it. We had Schweinsteiger in midfield, a washed-up Schweinsteiger, an expired date Schweinsteiger, and we had Michael Carrick, that was at the back end of his career, with Schneiderlin and Fellaini. That wasn't a good midfield, man. That wasn't a mobile midfield. You see me, and the creativity came more so from the pie that wasn't at his best, although he was young. Yeah. We had Wayne Rooney. He was, our main creative outlet, but he wasn't the Rooney of 2009 or 2010. You see me? But he was still Wayne Rooney. He still had reputation to pull out of the string and still create. So he was getting scraps and still getting he got 17 goals in his first season. You see me? And let me say this. If you saw this guy at a young age had personal problems off the pitch. You see me, him go break up with his girlfriend. His girlfriend, you see me, his ex-girlfriend got in her panties about it. Go on public television, crying about, "Oh, Martial left me and I didn't want him to join England. I told him not to join England because if he joined England, all these England girls would go after him because he plays for Manchester United, and that would further our relationship. I wanted him to be more of a daddy figure to our children, and these girls would distract him and further our relationship." So he was having all these problems, man. This guy was married at a young age, having kids at a young age. And he still netted 17 goals. He was our top scorer in his first season. So from going forward from that season, persons were saying, okay, this guy, let's see what the second season unfolds, because everybody knows of the second season syndrome. The second season syndrome. Is this guy going to be is he going to fall short of the second season syndrome? Because not to get long, but persons say that the second season syndrome is where, I guess you could say, where the league or the defenders catch up onto your game. They know who you are right now. So you may not be as efficient or effective as you once were in your first season because it was random. You were fresh blood in the Premier League. Person didn't expect you how to roll. Person didn't expect you. Person didn't know how you roll when you come on to football. They didn't expect you to play like that. They didn't know yourself of play. So they got caught off guard. You see me? But because they go score them 17 goals, probably coupled past them, them catch up onto your style a bit. So them kind of adapt a bit. Them not so cold. Them not so vulnerable as before. So they may catch on to you in the second season, which leads to the term second season syndrome. But anyway, that's when LVG was sacked and Mourinho came in. At the time, I had problems because knowing Mourinho, if you look through his CV, when it comes on to strikers, so this guy is not going to be using no skinny youth that is barely 6 foot as a striker. It's not going to work. Because if you look at Jose Mourinho's strikers over the years from 2004, I'm going to start with 2004. He had Didier Drogba. Is me. He had Shevchenko. He had Herman Crespo at Chelsea. Is me. He had Zlatan Ibrahimovic at Inter Milan. He had Adriano. He had Samuel Eto'o, and he used Samuel Eto'o as a winger. Is me. He had Milito. Is me. Who else? He had Benzema. He had Adebayor. Who else he had? He had Higuain. I would say Cristiano Ronaldo, because he wasn't an out-and-out striker, but I guess you could say Ronaldo as well. He had Zlatan Ibrahimovic again. He had Diego Costa. So he had all of these strikers, target men, real certified centre forwards. He wasn't going to use Martial as his main striker. It was never going to happen. You see me? And that was where the chips start to fall off of the table, because so this Virgin wasn't going to get the numbers as he did in his first season, and he wasn't going to start as the main striker like in his first season under Van Gaal. He wouldn't get the chances like he did under Van Gaal, under Jose Mourinho, because he's not a Jose Mourinho type striker. Now he can play Marcelo for the main striker, but he's not going to play as the main striker. You see me? So him go get Zlatan Ibrahimovic from PSG to bring back to Manchester United. Go take off the number 9 from Martial's back and latch it onto the back of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which was a moral destruction. It destroyed Martial's morality in the manager of Mourinho. It destroyed him. He may not show it, but it destroyed him. And it showed in his confidence on the football pitch. How you go take off? Yeah, I understand that Zlatan Ibrahimovic is a big name. Everybody and their mama know Zlatan Ibrahimovic as one of the best strikers in this modern era of football. Or at least in the last era of football from 2002 to 2017. World class striker, right? But this guy just come at the club and go take off this Britain's number 9 and take it as his own. That is emasculation, man. So of course him go feel away. And because he did that, that was an indication that he wasn't going to be the main striker. It's me, he got the number 11, but he didn't feel the same in the number 11. So anyway, in the second season of Mourinho, he didn't start much. He was more deployed. And this goes for any young striker. It's me. Wenger spoke on this when he came to Henry at Juventus. And this goes for main young strikers, especially if you're athletic and you have pace about you. When you're a young striker, especially if you don't have the build as yet, but you're fast, you're athletic, you can run up and down, you can run rings. You're not going to be deployed as a striker at first. You're not going to be deployed as a main striker first. Few exceptions, but some managers are going to use it out wide. They're going to use it out wide to use a pace. They're not going to use it down the middle because they're not ripe in some managers' eyes as a striker. You're not ripe as yet as a striker. They believe you need more experience. You need to be more furnished, more pruned to play as a striker. So they won't play because you have raw talent. You're just a raw player. You're going to play on one of the wings, on the right wing or the left wing. So that was the case with Martial. He was playing on the left wing under Jose Mourinho, and with Marcus Rashford in the mix, that he had competition. And that certified in the next season. And he didn't, of course, in his second season, he didn't get the numbers as he did in his first season because he was the main starter. Or as a striker for that matter. But he got certain goals. But in his third season, where Martial was actually picking up form on the left-hand side under Jose Mourinho, where we were known as 4-0 FC. You remember that? We're known as 4-0 FC. When was the last time we were 4-0 FC? We can hardly score goals these days. We would sell our left toe to go score 4 goals in a game. When was the last time we go score 4 goals in a game? It's been a while, man. But we're scoring goals for fun. So we go sign Lukaku. We still have Zlatan that signed another a continual contract. So you see that Manchester United is that, but he had a major hefty injury, so we needed a main striker to start. Some persons may say, well, Zlatan is out with injury. Why not start Martial through the middle? Logical sense, right? But not in the mind of Mourinho, because again, bro, he wants his big centre forwards up top. He wants a link man up top. Martial ain't no link. Well, Martial right now, you could say, can play as a link man. He may not have the physical specimen of a link man, like a Zlatan, like a Luka. Well, Lukaku. I mean, he can. He's not the best link man, but he has his moments, right? But Martial at the time, man, this was a skinny Martial, is me. So this wasn't the Martial of now, is me. So Mourinho wasn't bought on the thought that Martial should play through the middle. He should play on the left wing. He was certified about that thought. So I'm going to get Lukaku from Everton, and Lukaku became the main striker. Is me. Marcel and Rashford was, fighting over the left wing spot. And when Marcel came on, he would score goals or assists. He would play actually well on the left hand side. And this was continuing through the fall of 2017. Is me. And in January of 2018, when this brethren was catching a fire and form, this was where the declension of morality continued to decline. Alexis Sanchez from Arsenal didn't want to stay at Arsenal. He wanted to leave Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez. He wanted to go to greener grasses, win trophies, get more money. That's what it was. He wanted more money. Man City was linked to him. Man United was linked to him. Who got the benefit? Man United. So we go get this world-class player in our squad. So yes, we had a good amount of attackers. It's me. Zlatan was, he wasn't injured, but he wasn't a main starter. It's me. Plus, at the time, Zlatan had the number 10. Lukaku had the number 9. So I'm going to give Lukaku the number 9. Marcel didn't get back the number 9. So, Sanchez came and got the number 7. And although Marcel was starting, mainly, him and Rashford getting games on the left hand side, and Marcel was playing well, getting goals and scoring crucial goals. You go sign Alexis Sanchez, start him on the left hand side, because you get this player for free, although he's on like $500,000 per week. You don't want to bench this guy because he go look stupid. So you go put this virgin on the left hand side, go bench and inform Anthony Martial, and his farm go deep. What are you expecting? You think his farm go continue after that? No, it's not going to continue after that. You go get this guy from Arsenal that wanted to leave Arsenal, and you go start him over Martial that was getting goals, that was playing games and playing well. And because he did that, that was a destroyer in morality. You destroyed his moral. You destroyed his moral. You go put him on the bench. And Alexis Sanchez wasn't pulling up trees. He wasn't scoring goals. He wasn't playing well. So where's the benefit in all that at the time? Sanchez wasn't adapting to Manchester United on the left-hand side. And Martial was losing form because he was getting much gains, because Alexis Sanchez was a certified main start on the left-hand side. So that didn't help the cause one bit. Now, let me fast forward, because I don't want this to be a long eulogy level. I want this to be finished by the 30th minute. So the basic premise, in 18-19, Martial got goals, but he wasn't the main man. He got crucial goals. He scored good goals. But he still wasn't main, as he wasn't still used as the main striker, because Lukaku was still there. But in 2019-2020, before the last season before the football world changed because of some small disease known as COVID that changed the world starting with October of 2019, but it wildly spread in January of 2020. That season was where Martial hit the net. He was getting goals. Him, Marcus Rashford, and Mason Greenwood were like our front three, and they were getting a lot of goals. You see me? Martial and Rashford scored 21 goals in our competition. Greenwood got at least 17 goals in our competition. Or at least 20, I can't remember. You see me? But here's the thing, man. Even though it just shows you that Martial was playing as a main striker that season. Lukaku was sent to Inter Milan on loan. It's me. He was sent to loan at Inter Milan. Alexis Sanchez went to loan. And he got 21 goals, and he still played well. Got 21 goals. The following season, which was 2020-2021, this is where the injuries started to fall into place for Martial. This was where the injuries started to pick up pace on Martial. This was where the injuries started to nest on Martial's body. Take up possession, take up property on Martial. Is me. And it hampered him because Martial, this was not the Martial that just came to Manchester United, because he wasn't as explosive at the time. He was not explosive in 2020-2021. No, he was still fast. But because of his injuries, the major effect of his injuries affected his explosiveness. He wasn't gliding past players as he used to. And see, in some players, because they only have pace to their game, that's their only claim to fame, that's their only go-to when it comes onto a footballing situation. If them pace out of them game, they have nothing to do. They don't know how to come out of that situation because they're pace personified players. But because Martial has intelligence and he's talented with the ball at his foot, he can adapt his game. And he did. He became more of a link man. He link play more. He dropped deep. You see me? Like I said, at Arsenal was doing that. And Martial, at the young age he was at the time, about 24 thereabout, was doing that. He was doing that. He was linking play with Rashford, Daniel James. You see me? We still had Daniel James at the time. Mason Greenwood. You see me? So, even though he wasn't as explosive as he just came in as raw as he was in 2015, in 2020-2021, he was more intelligent. So this was where he was becoming more polished and refined. And let me say this, because I should have said this earlier. Although Martial wasn't the main striker under Mourinho with Lukaku there, Martial was the best finisher at the club. End of story. There is no question to attest to that. When it comes on to Martial in the box with the ball at his right foot, he's going to score that. With a Thierry Henry-esque finish. He's going to score. You can book it. It's me. He was that good, and that was like, person didn't recognize that he was like a natural finisher. He was a natural finisher, and he was very skillful in the box. Like I remember when he was playing against Real Madrid, and this is where I'm wrap up, and he beat a couple. No, this is pre-season. Yeah, I know, but main players were playing in the Real Madrid starting lineup. I mean, it's a friendly, but they still go play them best. Martial go put man in tangles. They couldn't even catch up to Martial. Martial go work himself like Iniesta, man. Go beat them players with the ball at his foot. Glued to his foot. You see me? So, Martial in 2021, and see Ronaldo came here and this Virgin can't start as main striker. Although he had those goals the previous season. But because of his injuries, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can go start this guy as the main striker. It's me. You can go get Ronaldo, and Ronaldo was the main guy up top. They can't start Ronaldo on the left wing because this is not 2011. It's me. So he was the main striker. And because Martial couldn't get much games, he would get loaned to Sevilla, and he didn't do well at Sevilla. Came back, still got goals, but this wasn't the same Anthony Martial, but he was still an intelligent Anthony Martial. And you may ask me, what's my point in doing this video about Martial? Here's my point in doing this video about Martial. I wouldn't be surprised if Martial gets sold next year. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Martial has spent at least 8 years at a club that wasted his talent. He wasn't used, he wasn't deployed in the position that he should have. But because of some strikers that were more certified strikers that were known to goals in their name, like Lukaku, Zlatan, Ronaldo, he was used on the left wing. Instead, his talent waned because he went to the left wing. But even when he became a bit bulkier, even when he lost his explosiveness because of the constant injuries he was getting, he was still a better striker than them strikers. Now he may not have been as mobile or as fast as Lukaku, but he was way more intelligent than Lukaku. He was way more intelligent than Rashford. You know, when it comes down to intelligence, him and Mason Greenwood is if like 50-50, them kind of on the same wavelength. Because Mason Greenwood is intelligent. And he, of course, don't even get started on Daniel James. He's like heels overhead better than Daniel James when it comes down to intelligence. You see me? But this Bridging was not started as a striker. And Manchester United, through their managers Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has blood on their hands because they haven't started this guy regularly as a striker. And because of their poor faith in this guy, they didn't believe. And yes, Martial had his problems off of the football pitch with his mistress, with his girlfriend, his wife, his second wife, I would like to believe, will call him out on him in public, go break up the relationship because he was caught cheating. That didn't hamper his form. That didn't stop him scoring goals. And hell, he was scoring goals at the football pitch. But that's a different discussion for another video podcast. Is me. But he was still scoring goals, man. And he became more intelligent over time. And he has the adaptability. And right now, everything has the striker in his squad that he's not playing. Because apparently he's not mobile. He can't score goals anymore. And he's lazy. He's late. Like, that's one of the biggest criticisms I have had for Martial. That he's lazy. And I, for one, thought under the regime, under the style of play of Erik ten Hag, that Martial would have been the ideal textbook striker for Erik ten Hag, given this style of play. You know, the position base, the striker dropping deep, linking the wingers going forward. All fantasy, right? The best ideal striker to start under Erik ten Hag. But this Bridging ain't gonna start much games. So me wrapping up right now, man. I see Martial leaving in the summer of next year. I don't know if Martial stay, he's just wasting his career for a hefty paycheck. That's all. I believe he's gonna believe. I believe he's gonna believe in. Hell, he might even leave in January. I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves in January. But I definitely see him leaving in July or June, July or August of next year. It's very sad that we haven't really used this guy to the ability, man. Again, bro, this Bridging win golden ball. Not much players that are trash players at football win the golden ball. It don't make no sense. Even Sterling still out here breaking legs, man. And he won the golden ball in 2015. Well, in 2014, because again, Martial won it in 2015, you see me? But, yeah, man, so again, it just showed that we waste a player. We waste the talent of a player. And right now, it's just sad that we have to use Martial on the bench, from the bench. Start Rashford, start Garnacho, start Anthony and Højlund. And this is one of the reasons why our attack is dead. But we have a striker on the bench that can play left wing, although he's not fast. But, dude, this Bridging came on against Bayern Munich. And you could see the immediate effect that he brought in our attack. Him go take a shot. Him go assist a goal. Actually, I think he got 2 assists. Him go assist one of Casemiro goals them against Bayern Munich away from home, although we lost. And he was breaking legs, man. This brethren, this injury-riddled brethren from France was breaking legs for Bayern. Against Bayern, I would say. I'm gonna finish up right there because it's getting dark, man. I mean, it's 5 p.m. man. You know, so when it's fall, 5 p.m. go be dark. It's literally 5. But man, we wasted this player, and it's very sad. Manchester United has bloods on their hand, and they have to be like Pontius Pilate and go wash their hands in water. Because they have this brethren that's wasted on the bench. Not playing as a striker. Right now, I'm going to say this, and this may come off as pettiness, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. The notoriety that Mbappe is getting right now for France, Martial should be getting that. Because Mbappe, when Martial was playing games for France in 2016, scoring goals, doing his thing, yeah, Mbappe was adoring this brethren. I think Mbappe have a tweet in 2016 or 2017, and he was saying something about Martial doing this and that, you know, him bigging up Martial. And look now, who is the better player now? Well, Martial is still the better player in my eyes because he's the better footballer. But Mbappe has the more notoriety because he has more goals, because he's been playing more games. And he's been used in the right way. Yes, Mbappe can play left wing, right wing, or a striker, but still, man, he's got the freedom to do what he can. Martial hasn't got that. Martial has been restricted like a lion in the zoo. He can't express himself like that. He's been restricted. He's been, like he's been operating behind bars or something. He can't be his full self. He's not playing as a striker, I mean, most of the times. Comments below. He said that Martial is on the bench at this moment, and you know, I don't see Martial breaking through and scoring 20 goals, bro. Now that he's not capable of doing it, but not at Manchester United anymore, man. He will still get his goals this season, yes, but it won't be vintage, man. It won't be vintage Anthony Martial. It's me. If Martial come back, make a comeback, I'm all for it. It's me. I'm all for it. It's me. I'm all for it. Anyway, like and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below in the comment section. With that being said, our brother is out. Peace.